Hey there, guys, it's Jesse, and it's question time. So, I have a lot of questions. Who knew you guys had this many to ask me? Some of them are silly, some of them are serious. I'm going to try to answer as many as I can scroll through without being like, you know what, screw it. I have a ton. A lot of them are repeats. I tried to make a list. So, yeah. I'm going to crack a, let's say, soda, and get cracking at this thing. Here we go. Hold on. Oh, the awesomeness of live theater. Alright. Delicious. Okay. Question number 1. Where does the word apartment come from? Well, let me get all hot for words on you and say that I think apartment originally comes from apartmento, from the verb apartare, I think, which means to separate. So really, it's referring to living quarters within the apartment which are separated, not the actual building itself. Next. When did you realize you wanted to be a voice actor? Honestly, right after watching Cowboy Bebop. For some reason, I'm not a big anime fan. I'll be straight up honest with you. Not a huge fan of anime. But for some reason, Cowboy Bebop really resonated with me. And I guess because it's like the least anime out of all animes, I think. Someone described that. I think it was an ex-girlfriend described it to me that way. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I saw that, was so impressed with what they had done. Because up until that point, I had never seen like really great voice acting. And those guys did an amazing job. Jesse and TB. Will it ever happen? Will I ever do something with Total Biscuit? Maybe. One day, you never know. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Actually, I don't know myself either. Maybe. Who knows? The feelers are out there. It could happen one day. What do I do in my free time? I desperately try to find time to work out, but completely fail at it. I audition constantly for all sorts of voiceover roles. And to help pay the bills, no joke, I tutor inner city kids so they can help pass tests. Not even joking. I'm like freaking Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Yeah, like that. What is your favorite race class combo? Troll Shaman, duh. What's my favorite to kill? Gnome Rogue, because I hate gnomes and I hate rogues, and the combination of a little tiny son of a bee running around stabbing you pisses me off. So I'm gonna drink to that. Why are you such a great voice actor? I'm glad you think so. My agent and casting directors don't, so it's a good thing you love me. Is Cox from your mom or dad's side? My dad's side. And someone asked where I'm from. Well, I have lived in the United States my entire life. I spent 8 years, spending 8 years in New York, spent 15 in Ohio, and the rest moving around. Oh, and my mom's side of the family's from Lebanon, my dad's side's from Ireland. Don't even ask how they got together. Have I ever heard of Team Fortress 2? Yes. Have I played it? No. What makes you so funky? I'm not sure. Are you saying I smell? Cats or dogs? Dogs, because cats seem shady to me. They always seem like they're planning something. Ba, ba, ba. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? I'd be a Christmas tree, because like it, I'm a complete attention whore. Were you in the Wrath of the Lich King beta? Yes, and I was in the BC beta too. Don't even remotely ask how. It's a state secret. Which Catazone is your favorite? I really enjoyed Silverpine, but I think so far Twilight Highlands is looking pretty awesome. But that is for another video. Will you be my best friend? Yes, and best friends lend each other money, so I could use some money, best friend. Will I make more videos after Cata goes live? Yes, I definitely will. In what form, I don't know yet. And in fact, let's be honest, for a few weeks there, you may get like the just random video. December 7th through, let's say, 14th, don't expect much in the way of videos. I'll be like you trying to play like a crazy person. Maybe I'll do stuff like, this is what I did today, or something like that. But until I hit my, cap of 85, I'll be pounding stuff out really quickly. Maybe I'll be lucky and do it in a week. I have a friend who did it real fast. I think he went from 70 to 80 in 4 days. Got server first. Crazy bastard. How old are you? Do you have a girlfriend or wife? I am 29, which by internet and nerd standards is like an old man. I'm well aware. Sorry, young kids. If you're a young girl who's saying stuff like, I love you, or a young boy for that matter, who's saying stuff like, I love you, please, I do not need Chris Hansen knocking on my door. Thank you. I am not married. I don't plan to get married. I enjoy chasing women around. But, without seeming like a complete loser, which, probably going to happen right now, I do not have a girlfriend at this moment. So, I'm single, ladies. Next question. Are you gay? No, but as an actor, I have more than my fair share of friends who are, so I don't really mind the men folk who are all like, ooh, your voice is so dreamy. Yeah, I'm used to stuff like that, so I'm secure enough in my manhood not to, have to overly assert my testosterone to prove, how hetero I am. When did you first learn to do impressions? I don't even remember. I think I was doing them all my life. As a child, I would do all sorts of crap to keep myself from being bored. I'm an only child, so for those only childs out there, you sort of get where I'm coming from. Your toy chest, or whatever I guess now you guys have, video game chests. I don't even know what that... it becomes your own little world, and you sort of have to make stuff up for yourself. So I would use the G.I. Joes and Transformers and He-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and make my own little world and just make adventures and characters, and yeah... Turns out, when you're by yourself, you have to do stuff like that. Did they upgrade the Barov servant caller? No, not at all. Are you going to do everything on the map? Yes, I'm going to do everything except some places like Moonglade. It might be like a 30-second video, because nothing is going on there. What is your favorite game of all time? Final Fantasy VI, without a doubt. Almost knocked my nice, refreshing pop over. Final Fantasy VI, without a doubt. Ace Combat 5 comes in a very close second, though. Jesse, are you part owner of Cox Communications? No, I have nothing to do with that company. I also do not own the Cox-owned Dayton International Airport, the Cox Arboretum, any of the Cox newspapers, or anything else like that. I'm not related to Courtney Cox, or Bobby Cox, or any other Cox there is, though I'd like to think I was. That'd be nice. Send me some money, guys. Help a brother out. Is Wrathgate completable in Kata? Somewhat. You cannot do the event, part of it in Undercity anymore, but the rest of it is? Hope that helps. Why are you so unfunny and suck at making YouTube videos? I think this is a question meant for TB's channel. If you want, I can link to him. But wah, deflected. Can you narrate my life? Here's a sample of how I would narrate your life. And little did he know that Bean Burrito would be the start of a brand new adventure. Why is your voice so awesome? Virgin Blood. Have you done Machinima? Yes, lots of it. I have done tons. I'm in way too many to even mention all of them, so if it sounds like me, it probably is. What is your shoe size? This sounds like a disturbing foot fetish question, but I'll answer it because it isn't too dirty. I'm 11 and a half. Kirk or Picard? I'm going to pick Worf. What's your favorite version of WoW? Vanilla. You know what? Something about it just always seemed new and awesome, and I guess it's like when you get the old people looking back at the 50s saying oh, the times were better back then. I don't know why that old guy had an Irish, you know what I mean, though. Have you ever gotten random emails from random fans asking you to make love to them? No, but I am willing to accept them. Do you like fish sticks? You call me a gay fish? Have you sent a resume to Chris Metzen or the WoW team? Yes, I have, and without getting into details, I was this close to being in WoW for super realsies, but, stuff happens. What does the scouter say about your power level? It says it's over 3540, something like that. Have you ever contemplated doing a DK overview for Kata? No. No, I have not. I'm working on becoming a VA like you. How do I become famous? How did you become... So, how did me become... I'll let you know when I become famous. Do you play StarCraft 2? Yes, and poorly. What is the meaning of life? 42. Can I has yours accounts informations to play da betas, please? Can I has cheeseburger? Will Blizz update old race faces? I really hope so. What would you do for a Klondike bar? The question is, what did I do for a Klondike bar? And so far, that damn district attorney can't prove anything! Anything! If you were a giant hamster with a giant condiment to fight, where would you fight and what condiment would it be? Horseradish in Tokyo. Seems like the classy choice. Is that old WoW happy feeling gone forever? Yes, 100% it is gone. But hopefully, it's replaced with the new Kata happy WoW feeling. Are Kata invites still going out? Maybe? I don't know. If you could be born into history as any famous person, who would it be and why? Easy, Ben Franklin. Ben was not only a super genius, but he was also super pimp. He got all the ladies and all the respect. Nothing but love for old Benny. Do I like Mudkips? If this is Pokemon, no. If this is a term for some depraved sexual act I don't know about, then yes. How did you get into voice acting? Way back in 2000, I was a big nerd for a site called Voice Acting Alliance. I think there was another one. I think it was called Flava or something like that. And I did fan dubs and radio plays and all sorts of crap. And I actually met a lot of great people on that site who still we keep in contact to this day. And several of them are like pretty decent voice actors. Like they have legit jobs. And one day I decided, you know what, hell, I'm going to make a demo. And I shopped it around and was told, you know what, it's not nearly good enough. So I worked even harder at it and became, better. And suddenly people started hiring me. It just took time. I mean, that's back in 2000. It's 2010, and I am still an out of work. Like, I'm still a wannabe voice actor. I've done stuff, but nothing that I can literally say has defined a career. So, no, I'm always looking, though. I'm always willing to be hired. Considering the fact that it would entitle you to a generous abundance of bragging rights, and assuming that Blizzard Entertainment somehow needed your money and was A-okay with you listing them as one of your clients, how much would you pay them to use your services in any of their games on at least one occasion? Let's say there's also a 35% chance of them throwing a testimonial your way. How much would I pay them? Nothing. I love Blizz, but they've been receiving a steady paycheck from me for the past 5 years. So no, they don't get any more of my money. Are you the best around? Is no one ever going to keep you down? Maybe Ralph Macchio will, but other than that, I think I'm pretty good. Where is Saurfang? He's over at my place. We're doing whippets and eating greasy pizza. Do you normally say, to that I say, shut up, let me bitch? That is the most awesome line I have ever heard. To that I say, yes, yes I do. I totally think you should do a wetlands leveling vid or an overview or something. I would totally like to see it. No one has done it. You should. I totally think you should wait for this weekend. Wink. If you can, I would appreciate it if you could compare a Death Knight tanking with other tanks and compare with Warriors, Mages, and Feral Druid DPS, Frost and Unholy DPS with each other. I'm going to assume this was meant for Total Biscuit as well. Do you hate Pride? With a passion. If you could do another video with another YouTuber, who would it be and why? The Angry Video Game Nerd, 1000%. His type of humor is my type of humor. Could you please answer some questions in a gnome voice? All right then, I'll talk like this for you. Not really. How did I first get introduced to WoW? The Hype Machine. Not sure if any of the noobs remember it, but way back when, it was super hyped as like this big next thing, and yeah, got me addicted. If you could be Chuck Norris for a day, what would you do? I would make love to the Statue of Liberty. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Cookies and cream? Dear Jesse, are you a racist? I think I might have mentioned it before, but I teach inner city black kids, so I'm pretty sure that qualifies me in the non-racist category. Will I be starting any large guilds in Kata like Total Biscuit is doing? No. Hell no. TB is born to yell at people and bitch and moan. I am not. Small guild, just friends. That's all I care about. Is Quell the Lost still there? Yes, it's still there. Has it changed? No. Ghostlands has, though. We'll get to that later, though. Will you ever change because people's comments telling you to stop singing or act serious or be more silly or whatever? Don't worry. It's not ever going to happen. To quote a great scholar, I'm going to do me and you can do you. Why did you decide to make these videos? I was bored. Have hunters been nerfed in any way, shape, or form? I'm gonna say no, because if they can still kill me, they are not nerfed enough. Who would you kiss, kill, marry? Tyrande, Whitemane, or the Eridar twins? Kill Tyrande. Old hippie chicks are a no-no. Kiss the Eridar twins, because who doesn't love twins? And it reminds me of a story from high school, which is for the adults only video. And marry Whitemane, because something about an emo albino religious chick sort of does it for me. Oh, she has the ability to res too, which is always awesome. Have you ever played Warhammer Online? Yes. But like all PvP and RVR or whatever you call it, I suck. Do you accept donations? Yeah, damn right I do. Feel free to PM me and I'll give you the old PayPal email. What is the difference between passive and active verbs? Passive would be like, you are loved by me. Active would be, I love you. I think so. And lastly, the biggest one, everyone wanted to know, 1, show me a recent picture, and 2, tell me about yourself. So, without further ado, I present to you, Jesse Cox.
Jesse Cox always knew he was a special boy. From an early age, his awesome powers were evident by his glowy healing-powered hands. Though the doctors tried to persuade him this was poor flash quality of the camera, Jesse knew the truth. As he grew and matured, Jesse decided to bring his gift into a field where it was so desperately needed: theater. There, he spent high school and college honing his craft, manipulating theater girls into thinking he was deep and always willing to listen. After some time, Jesse eventually ventured into voice acting, where he now barely makes a living and does lame YouTube videos. The last known photo of Jesse was him drinking a shot of ketchup on a dare.